Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about Shai. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about Shai. It's all about Yahweh.
p.m. Now our Friday night classes are going to be from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then we have the Sabbath morning class that's going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All right? We have classes in Austin, Texas. So if you know anybody in the Austin area, hit us up. We'll give them more information on that, on location and time. As well, we have a children's class. Children's class is going to be every Sunday. That's going to be from 2 p.m. until 3 p.m. All right? And as well, we have pre-recorded kids classes on the channel of ISBHPK Kids. So if you want something for your children to watch rather than all the music videos, all your comic, your Spider-Mans and your Aquaman and all these different shows that you have them watching on TV, listen, subscribe to the channel and have them listen to the knowledge and understanding of the Most High, because this class is specifically built for the kids. They go through a lot of things. Bullying, listen, they're smoking weed in junior high. It's crazy. Doing all these abominable things. So our kids need to know what's right and what's wrong, and this channel is specifically for them. As well, we have our own channel as well. You're clicking on is ISBHPK. But you can give that to anybody. Let them subscribe, and they can go through the numerous amount of videos that we have for you. And those are breakdowns, Genesis, your Revelations, a lot of common questions that are asked. We've already answered, so you can actually go on the class page and check that out and go through them and send them to your friends. All right. We have a Blog Talk Radio as well. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. This is going to be your Blog Talk Radio show, and this is going to be Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. until about 11:30. It runs about 2 hours. And the brother's been out there diligently every day of the week, Monday through Friday. You can catch them on there with some good classes. So while you're going to work, listen, while you're at work, dealing with your outrageous co-workers and just dealing with the wows of the days, listen, click that in, put your headphones in. Their episodes and shows are saved as well in their archives. So they have a lot of good classes on there, a lot of good edification, a lot of good food for the morning, spiritual food, all right? Now, Israel wear. For all those that need your Israel wear garments, that goes from your headbands to your scarves, to your purses, to your French pants, French shirts, your armbands. You see this brother up here, Priest Quad Asap, has this wonderful, elaborate headband that was made by the sisters. And these are the things that they do, that they put their hands to, and that they do very well. You can check the sisters out on Facebook. This is going to be Israel Wear at Facebook, or on Facebook.
Yeah, let's search Israel Wear underneath. When you're on Facebook, just type in Israel Wear in the search.
Yeah, type in Israel Wear, the page will come up. Hit them with a message, a description of what you want. and the sisters will be able to make that quickly and definitely very well. So if you need to reach any of the teachers, we have Priest Kazaki at the number 281-707-2737. Again, this is Priest Kazaki, 281-707-2737. Priest Kwatazak, all right, his number is 303-557-8979. Again, that number is 303-557-8979. So for all those that, may have any type of question that you don't want to ask online, listen, hit the brothers, hit the priests' lines up, and they'll definitely return your message at their convenience, or you'll get a return phone call right then and there. All right, and for those that don't like to use the telephone, for messaging or talking over the line, we have another avenue. We have the email. Write this email down. It's isbhpk@isbhpk.org. So for all those that like the web a little bit better, we have that for you as well. Again, that is isbhpk@isbhpk.org. All right? And we thank all those that have contributed to the school, if it's monetarily or if it's with any type of supplies that's been given. As you see on the bottom of the screen, we have a Wells Fargo account that you can donate whatever you feel led to. All right? So know that all your donations go to the betterment of the school. If it's not the betterment of the school, it's to maintain the school with the lights, the internet, the building itself, because all this costs money. And we have our own business that we try to facilitate, but any contribution is needed. If it's not monetarily, listen, we have people that gives us the journals, the pads, the pencils, highlighters, anything is needed. And we thank those, or all those people that have been given. Your Zonovan Bible Patrol dictionaries, a lot of books that you might think help with the edification of your people. It's much needed, and it is much appreciated. All right? As well, we have another form of the monetary donation. It's going to be Google Wallet. That's going to be isbhpk.com. Again, that is gmail.com. Zap-ash.
Shalom. Shalom. Anybody? Samuel? Anybody? Okay, it says, is the internet already freezing?
It
Carbo.
goes in and out.
Hello? Scripture that you want. But it says, question, I need edification on Exodus 32. I had a convo with a non-believer that brought up Moses being able to change the Most High's mind. He came from Deuteronomy 9 and 8, but I believe Exodus 32 and 2 is what they meant. Exodus 32 is what they meant. I got the chapter. What verse you want us to hit? I mean, this is a long chapter. We can hit the whole chapter, but just for class time's sake, what verse was it that you wanted me to start? Actually, let's just read over it. Exodus 32, right? Yeah, we can hit it real quick. You got that? So they need some edification on Exodus 32nd chapter. I guess the part is about Moses being able to change the Most High's mind. I know what you're talking about. He didn't really change the Most High's mind. The Most High's mind was made up from the beginning. Watch, we're gonna see. Where you at?
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down of the mount, the people gathered together. The people gathered together.
Go ahead.
Themselves unto Aaron, and said unto him, it says, up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so, verse 13. Okay, so, I mean, y'all understand what Exodus 32 is talking about, right? The beginning. This is when Moses was up in the mount. 40 days, 40 nights, he was getting the commandments. And so the people, they were getting antsy. They were getting antsy. They were like, listen, Aaron, make us a god, because Moses, we don't know what's up with this guy. He done disappeared. It's going crazy up in the mount. We can't go near the mount. Basically, when you read into Josephus, it said that the sight of the mountain that Moses went up was so grievous that they thought nobody could make it. So they thought Moses died on the way up. So what happened then? They basically got faithless. They basically got faithless, like, well, look what the Most High did. He got this great Mount Sinai where if an animal touched it, they would die. So surely Moses died on the way up. So we don't know what's going on. So Aaron, make us, they said, make us a god. Make us gods, right? So that this is going into when Aaron told them to break off the golden earrings, right? And they made a calf, the golden calf. So just a brief synopsis. Now when we jump to verse 13, actually, we might as well just read it. We might as well just read it all the way down. Go ahead, read verse 2.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings,
Go ahead.
which are in the ears of your wives and your sons.
In your what?
And in your wives and your sons.
Right.
And of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
So we know that the men, the women, the children, they wore earrings. It wasn't just women. It wasn't we didn't do the lip plates like you see on Black Panther. We weren't Wakanda style. Right. But we did wear jewelry. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears.
Go ahead.
And brought them unto Aaron.
Read.
And he received them in their hand and fashioned it with a great.
Wait, they brought them unto who?
And he received them.
They said they brought them unto Aaron.
Brought them unto Aaron.
This is very important because Aaron was supposed to be the priest. He was the priest. Aaron was supposed to be like, hell, I ain't gonna make y'all no golden calf. Hell, I ain't gonna make you no God. If Moses is gone, then what I'm gonna do is stand in the stead of Moses and be faithful unto the Most High. But it said they brought him unto Aaron. Read verse 4. And received their wickedness. Go ahead.
And fashioned it with a graving tool.
Wait, and Aaron did what?
Fashioned it with a graving tool.
Go ahead.
After he had made it a molten calf.
Remind you, Aaron, the priest, he did this. The people, they brought the supply, but Aaron, he's the one that fashioned it.
Right.
Because Aaron was supposed to give sacrifice. Clean. You got beheadings. That's what they said. Okay. Think about how upset the most. Think about all the things that went on from the first chapter.
Also before it.
Go ahead.
And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Go ahead.
And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play.
You see that? They made a whole nother feast day in the Most High's name about this calf, about this golden calf. You got to see it. I mean, if I was the Most High, I'd be mad as hell too.
It's almost like the same thing they do today. You know, they put it, it's like, they keep a piece of the law, in a sense. Like, they're going to do the burnt offerings, they're going to do the peace offerings. But what are you doing it to?
Yeah.
You're doing it to something that the Most High has no respect for.
Yeah, you're trying to mingle that wickedness with that righteous.
Right.
But check it out. The Most High, in Exodus, the 12th chapter, he already gave us high holy days. Right. He gave us the Passover. He gave us Feast of Unleavened Bread. He gave us what we needed. But here you go. Wicked-ass Israel doing what? We're going to create our own thing. Because now we don't have a man in front of us telling us what to do. We don't know how to move on our own whim. We don't know how to move in our own faith. You see that? But that's why, watch, this is why the Most High was so mad, because they weren't doing things towards the Most High. They were doing things towards a man. They were doing wickedness towards men and towards an image, but trying to use the Most High's name. Why you think in Amos, Watch. Yeah, go there real quick. I believe it's Amos 5 or 6. Got my memory. Come on. Hold where you at in Exodus and go to Amos real quick. You got to see why the Most High was so upset, man. These dudes created a whole nother feast day.
Amos 5 and 21.
5 and 21.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
I hate.
He said what?
I hate.
Read.
I despise.
He what?
I despise.
Yeah, the Most High said he hates and he despises what?
Your feast days.
Why? Because it had nothing to do with the Most High. It was a creation that man made to give glory to another man. Or some fake golden calf. Go ahead.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
Yeah, the Most High ain't smelling your baked ham, your golden crusted turkey. Most High he ain't smelling your pumpkin pie, right? The dressing, he ain't smelling that. He ain't dealing with that. He don't even want to smell your food because he hates it. But this is what they were doing back in Exodus. So you got to understand. Think about it. If he said he hated the feast days and he hated our solemn assemblies that we created that were not in him, think about how much more he hated the works of the people. You see that? Think about what he wanted to do to the people that said, hey, let's make our own holidays. So now you know where this fierce anger came from when Moses was dealing with the Most High. Go ahead.
Though you offer me burnt offerings.
See, this is the same thing they did back in Exodus. They offered burnt offerings. Go ahead.
And your meat offerings.
They offered meat offerings. They ate and drank. Read.
I will not accept it.
Yeah, the Most High wasn't accepting it. He's actually going to reject it. And especially back in this time, the judgment was swift. The judgment was swift and expedient, right? When you read in this chapter, he said, he told Moses, listen, whoever's with you is with you. Whoever's not with you, they're going to die. You with Moses, you with Moses. If you're not, every man take up his sword and kill his brother. That wasn't fighting for the Most High and doing things in the name of the Most High. Go ahead.
I will not accept it.
Go ahead.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Read.
Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs.
Read.
For I will not.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rocks. Right? You got man, I was watching I think the movie Bad Moms. Right? Part 2. And it was the Christmas, a whole theme about Christmas. And the mom was like really big on like going and doing like what do they call it? Folly? When they go around the neighborhood and sing.
Oh yeah,
Carol, yeah, and I'm like, I asked my rib, I was like, when's the last time you see people do that? Like literally walk around the neighborhood.
Hosanna.
Yeah, knock on the door and like, we're gonna sing you a Christmas carol. Right? And I was just like, do people even do that anymore? I mean, it don't matter, the Most High ain't hearing it. But it just struck a chord to me like, it's funny that even their own traditions that they came up with, they don't even stick to. They're like, this is stupid. I guess it depends on where you're at. Because I don't never see nobody walking through Houston talking about singing Christmas carols.
Oh, that's in the suburbs.
It gotta be the super suburbs.
Yeah, you in the gated suburbs.
Because I grew up in Colorado for part of my childhood, and that was suburbia. I didn't see that.
You actually do it downtown.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering, but think about it. They don't even hold most of the time to their own tradition. Because it's pointless. It's useless. Go ahead.
But, I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
Read.
But let judgment run down as waters.
But let what?
Judgment run down as waters.
Go ahead.
And righteousness as a mighty stream.
Right. Justice.
32 and verse 0, and offered burnt offering, and brought people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, go, get thee down.
Yeah, he was like, man, go get these cats in check.
Right.
But they off.
Disrespect.
Please get down there and get them right. Go ahead.
Yes. Which have brought us out of Egypt. Themselves.
Go ahead.
They
3, I believe. If I'm mistaken. By day, he's dead. I'll make you.
turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
You got to think about how upset and disappointed, betrayed, Most High must have felt. Yeah, this is the God that point where y'all are so foolish. Ishmael, Isaac, and right? To read down, it wasn't. Let's see here. The question was God's mind. It was like y'all are used to what you did it for. So it wasn't that he had to change the Most High's mind, because no matter what, the promise had to happen. It would have happened regardless. There was another point, and we're going to read. There's another point in there. When we get to it, we'll bring it out. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is as a stiff-necked people.
A stiff-necked people. Think about it. We had been so hard-headed and stiff-necked through all the blessings the Most High did. He was almost like, man, y'all, come on. Y'all get the feeling. Y'all know that feeling where it's like you deal with that one person, and over and over and over, you tell them the same thing over and over and over and over. Until you're like, man, you just have to figure it out. You almost write them off like, bruh, I ain't messing with you right now. Right? You're like, man, you got to go figure it out over there. Because you get to that point where it's like you don't want to get so frustrated, or you don't want to say something that's going to make you look bad. So you're just like, bruh, I ain't dealing with you right now. You give them that stiff arm.
I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them.
Most High was ready to just destroy us, man.
Right. And it's funny because it's not like, the Most High is going to kill everybody. He probably would have killed a majority of them and left a remnant.
But check this out. Watch. Read.
And that I may consume them,
Read.
And I will make of thee a great nation.
You got to remember, where was that? You got to remember when you go back to Exodus 32 and verse 3, read that one more time.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 3.
And
all the people break off the golden.
Wait. Some of the people?
All the people.
Wait, 2/3.
All the people.
Wait, just a quarter?
All the people.
Yeah. All the niggas did that. They all was wicked at that time. They all went off. They all went off. So that's the thing. It wasn't like they all part. That's why the Most High was so mad. Righteous man among them, leading them. That example, they all did.
My wrath may wax.
See, and Moses' answer could have been what? Hell yeah, destroy them wicked niggas. Make me, pick me, yes. Right? Moses could have been like, yeah, do it, because they wicked. See, it was also a test for Moses to see where he was at. Was he going to have compassion on the people? Was he going to was he going to say, yeah, I'm more righteous than now, I'm more righteous than this man or that man? It would have been easy for him to say, yeah, right? Yeah. You're right. I was up on the mount. I'm blameless. Right? God. Read.
Of the land of Egypt.
Read on.
With great power and mighty hand.
Yeah, he's like, man. So he was basically saying, what? Did you bring them out and do all these great wonders, part the Red Sea, send 10 plagues just for the Egyptians to come back and say you did that for mischievous purposes? Nah, he was reminding them, like, you did that because you made a promise. So it wasn't that he had to change the Most High's mind or reconvince him. It was two things. He was showing his humility, and he was just showing the Most High, like, look, don't give up on the people. I'm no better than them. Right? You understand? Go ahead, read on.
To slay them in the mountains.
Go ahead.
And to consume them from the face of the earth.
Yeah, these are all questions. Go ahead.
Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people.
Go ahead.
Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thy own self.
He was like, look at the righteous. Not all of us are wicked. Not everyone is going to go off. He said, look at the righteous. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look at all the things those brothers went through and the things that you put them through, and they were diligent and faithful just to get to this point, just to cut everything off. It wouldn't make sense. But see, you know what I hate? When you watch, what movie is it? I think it's the Exodus movies, and even when you watch the movie with like Noah, when they make these movies, they make it look like they were challenging the Most High. Right. Like Noah was like literally like going back and forth with God, like bruh, like he debated if he was gonna make the ark. Yeah, like Moses actually debated, like when he went to the mount, he debated on if that was the Most High or should he follow. It's like there was no damn debate. This ain't no just showing his sensibility. For him to put just like people think do things no. Raise me up. Make me the man. Through me. But what that would have gave Moses the glory, right? But Moses wasn't looking for that at that time. He wasn't trying to take the glory from the Most High. He was saying, look at all the wonderful works you did with your mighty hand. Let's finish the job so the world can see that you did this. You see that? Go ahead.
To whom thou swearest by thy own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven.
Go ahead.
And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people.
Yeah, when it says he repented, repent just means to turn around or go the opposite way. So the Most High was like, yeah, I ain't gonna crush y'all. Not right now. I got other plans in store, right? So yeah, it wasn't more. He didn't have to convince him of anything or change the Most High's mind. The Most High said, he said, I'm the Lord, I change not. Ain't no man gonna change the Most High's mind like that. His mind was already made up. He just wanted to see where Moses was. A lot of these things, a lot of these stories that we read, think about it. With Abraham and Isaac. With Abraham and Isaac, was the Most High gonna slay Isaac? Or was it a test for Abraham to see where he was at?
It's a test for Abraham.
It's a test for Abraham, because right when he was getting ready to do it, he stopped him. So the Most High already had his mind made up. I'll be going back. He already had his mind made up. Y'all get that? Plus, I mean, think about it. You said it. You had a convo with a non-believer. It's hard to, what was the capacity of the convo? Were you teaching or were they battling? You know, a lot of times these people that don't believe, that they don't have the understanding. It goes into battles, like these back and forth, these doubtful disputations. So, you want to be careful with that too. But anything else? Yeah, like somebody just pointed out, it was an opportunity for the Most High to show his mercy. That's another aspect, right? Go to Lamentations 3:22. Like when the scriptures talk about the Most High being long-suffering and very compassionate, right? Very pitiful. Think about it, man. We could have been destroyed a long time ago. Most High said he could have raised stones to worship him. But he kept having compassion on us because he chose us. Read where you at.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 22. It is of the Lord's mercy that we...
Go ahead.
That we are not consumed.
It is of the what?
The Lord's mercy.
Read.
That we are not consumed.
Read on.
Because his compassion faileth not.
Because what?
his compassions failed not.
Yeah, see, the Most High always had compassion on Israel. So it was an opportunity for the Most High to show his compassion. He already showed us the killer streak. He already showed us that I'm the man of war, right? The Lord is my name. He already showed us that I kill, right? He already showed us that through the whole Exodus. Killing the firstborn, all the different places. He showed us the one side where he'll wipe us out. He'll wipe you out real quick. So now it's time for him to show that compassion and mercy, have that balance. Go ahead.
They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, said my soul.
That's it on that. But y'all see that, right? Yeah, so, I mean, come on. The Most High deals with balance. But that's a very good point. It's another opportunity for the Most High to show that compassion and mercy on us that we definitely don't deserve sometimes. Any other questions? I mean, if not, we can go right into the class. I mean, let's see here. Nothing online, right? Yeah, let's go into it. If y'all got any questions, y'all can throw them out. And we'll try to get them as we go on. You ready? Take it away, Sayonara.
All right, so we're going back into the class that we had a couple weeks ago. All right, and the class is going to be is titled Hebrew Family Customs, because we're in this state of mind right now. We're in an American state of mind due to the fact that we've been scattered abroad everywhere, dealing with different customs. We've been under the captivity of different nations. We've had multiple and still ongoing psychological warfares against our minds to block, even the vibes, just the knowledge that we did have. So we're coming back to that. So with that, give me Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
And you know why this is important is because this is the only way to get back to the Most High. Right? Is to get back to our custom, to get back to what we inherited from the Most High. We inherited specific ways of doing things, and America, this wicked kingdom, has ripped that out of you. They've ripped your tradition out of you to keep you in this hamster wheel of always trying to attain and trying to, reach their dreams, their American dream. But it's like, what's your dream got to do with me? Your American dream, that's your American dream. What's that got to do with the Hebrew dream? Nothing. What's that got to do with the Most High and what the Most High wants for us? Right. And that's what we got to come back to, is seeing what does the Most High want for his people. Go ahead. Where you at?
Actually, jump down to, hit John 14 and 26. John chapter 14 and verse 26. And that was right on point because, if we don't understand who we are and how to please the Most High, we're in bad shape, and that's why our people are in the way that they are, because they don't know who they are. They don't know what pleases the Most High, so that He can establish our families, so that we can be prosperous where we're at, in our living conditions where we're at. But give me that, John chapter 14 and verse 26.
St. John chapter 14 and verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance.
Bring it to what?
To your remembrance.
Because we have forgotten. We have been, our heritage, our language, beaten out of us. Literally. Beaten physically, psychologically beaten out of us. And that's what these scriptures are doing. These scriptures are bringing it back to our remembrance of what pleases the Most High. How we should treat each other. How we should actually run our household. What's righteous and unrighteous, as we'll see. What's clean and unclean. This is what we're coming back to. But this is what the Most High has given us through His Word.
Just on a little point that I was making, go to Jeremiah 29. Were you done with that?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 29 and verse 11. Because we got to see that the Most High gave us something because He wanted certain things for us. He gave us this law because There was something that he wanted for us. He gave us customs, traditions, family structure, because there was things that he knew that we would be able to attain through what he gave us, not through the American dream and what America gave us. Get Jeremiah 29 and 11, and get Isaiah 55 and 8. Read that, Jeremiah 29 and verse 11.
Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord.
Yeah, see, the Most High got thoughts towards his people. Man, if I think about it, why do you cheat? Because you want them when they grow up, getting a right where he's not doing what I want.
Listen, you
Especially in this, right? They barely teach Vietnamese and Mandarin because you got these people coming here.
right.
But you, I already have to rip that away. I already had it. Now you know why you ain't crazy. Why the black spirits chaotic in the because you didn't use what was
Peace.
read
And not of evil.
evil angel vengeance. There's always evil surrounding you. You don't hold fast. The Hebrew family structure was nothing like what society tells you it is.
To their broken family, diseases,
Right.
the type of issues that are laws and
Family. That's a family now. The family. 12-year-old girl. A man with generations that live. Think about how you can say, I got my brother.
all those that can rent be a problem. Have an abundance of food, you will have multiple people to be able to cook so you can get some rest and be able to take care of the things that you can take care of. But our people is so indoctrinated into the system.
But why do you think you ain't got no peace? Because you got to go constantly work and kill yourself to give all your money away for rent. You paying $1,500 on a 2-bedroom and wonder why you broke. Think about it. You better rent one of them bedrooms out and split that rent. But see, the things that the Most High gave us, how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity, we're like, I don't need that. I don't need that unity part. I don't need to dwell with my brother because I got this. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need to live with no other man. But that's not what the Most High wanted. I'm not saying you have to live with someone. I'm not saying that. But think about when the Chinese comes over here. Think about when all these other nations come to America. What do? They got one house that everybody just filters and funnels through. You had 30 people sleeping in that house until what? Each one of them start getting on their feet. Oh, now I'm making enough money, I can rent my own spot and get my own family started. But then guess what that person does? They sponsor their family. They're like, oh, I got it, so now guess what? Screw everybody. No, it's like, who needs to come? Who need a place?
You gotta think about that, man, because I was in the military and I ran into a lot of Filipinos. So with the Filipinos, they're extremely family orientated.
Yeah.
And a lot of nations here in America and across the seas, they're family orientated. But why not the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American?
Because it's all about my independence. It's all about me failing on my own. That's why. Scriptures say, woe to that man that is left alone.
Right.
It's not about let me take care of the things of others, but it's all about let me get mine. That's the mentality that we've been put in. So guess what it does? It destroys the family. It destroys that family structure where now you got granny in a nursing home.
Right.
Now you got your dad, he's 40 years old. You ain't heard from him in years because y'all ain't around. You're not worried about what the elderly are doing. See, that's what they do. It's like once you hit 18, you jump out the house and then your parents are left to fend for themselves.
Right.
Now the elderly, what do they got to do? They got to work until they're 90.
Dang, I heard a quote about that. They said that usually a daughter for the parents, the daughter will make sure that the father's belly's filled.
Yeah.
And the son makes sure that his rent is paid.
Yeah.
But in our community,
Esau.
Yeah, in Esau's
and other nations.
Right. But when it comes to us, oh hell no, you can barely get a phone.
You know why though? Because they put it where it's like, well, there's no. But if I don't pull the resources, because if you do that, it alleviates grown-up. Right. How it works? It's like I want to respect your rules and pull the resources, so I'm gonna have to struggle on my thought for us. It's evil. Because you got nothing but evil demons around you. You got nothing but thing. We're not these things concrete. It says sure end. That was saying that there was a stability that the Most High had for us. You ran away from your stability by running away from our traditions and the way things were handed down. Go to Isaiah, what was it? What was the other one? Jeremiah?
You said Isaiah.
Isaiah?
You said Isaiah.
Y'all with us?
It's a good class to truly understand. This is the foundation of should be Israelites understand who we are. We have a family, but in what way?
Family way where, you got they brought Steve into the house. So the gay dude lives, and the son sexual. She's a
yeah, don't know. Was actually gay on the side.
Yeah. His
wife was dealing with somebody else, and they was having sex with the security guard.
Yeah.
Their head security.
And then the kids are just left confused. Yeah. One kid is probably a rapist. The daughter is probably just some whore. Yeah. And somehow they got like a little 4-year-old that's just real innocent and sweet.
And that's how you have a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right.
Mass serial murder.
She can go either way because she don't know what to deal with yet.
Are not your thoughts.
And this is what supports Israel for that expected end, for that peace. You see that? My thoughts are not your thoughts. So guess what? They ain't thinking about us. But they are. They're thinking about how to destroy you. Psalms, 83, right? They're thinking about how to destroy us. That's their thought towards us. They're not thinking about an expected end. They're not thinking about and not evil. The Most High. They're going to wear you out. How? They're going to make your family. You're bad. You should have humbled down, listened to some rules, stayed around your parents, and got some wisdom. Right? But then you want to cry because you decide you want to move out at the age of 12 and take on adult responsibilities. Nobody said you had to do that. Nobody said you had to go start paying rent at 12 and a car note and go get a job.
You got to selling dope. Your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody told you to go to.
There's no wisdom applied. $1 because you killing yourself trying to make that rack $1, but you got to spend 90 cents. Because he don't got no rules and regulations. So his house structure is totally different.
Right.
You see that? So we gotta look at it, man. But go ahead, jump in. Good, jump back.
Yeah, give me with that. Open class. Because we're special people unto him. He didn't give it to him. But that, give me Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 18.
Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 18.
Read.
And the Lord has
avouched
the peculiar people.
A peculiar people. Property. Exclusive. People. Read. People. Keep his commandments and he was going to bless us. Read.
And
all nations. But no, we want to be equal to, and not even equal to, we're underneath. We got to pay tolls. Every time I pass a toll. I'm like, golly, another $1 for driving less than a. But we can't fit in this meant to fit in. So we have to understand that our traditions, heritage, it wasn't meant for everybody else. It says exclusion of others. This is our way. But now we're trying to do the American way. But this is what the Most High is getting us back to. He's getting us back to us understanding who we are, how we dealt, how we taught our children, what we taught our children, who we had in our households, how we just dealt with civil laws. Civil laws, man. Listen, if a brother does something to you, if he disrespects you in a certain way, the American way would be like, listen, just cut him off. It's either you're just going to beat him up, cuss him out, or let him go, right? No, the Most High say, go talk to that brother, man. Make sure squash it. Talk about the issue. It's common, man. We were a thriving people.
Leviticus chapter 10, verse 9.
Yes, sir. While he gets that. Because we're going into, the Most High choosing us. We're a peculiar people. So the Most High has definitely put a difference between us and these other nations. And that goes the same way with our customs and traditions. It's not strange that we're different. It's not strange that we wear hair wraps. It's not strange that we have fringes. It's not strange that we have servants. It's not strange that we... give me that definition.
Family. The concept of family in the Bible differs from the modern institution.
It says differs from the modern institution. Modern institution.
Women, right? That homosexuality is now constituted as family, right? And there's different aspects of the Hebrew. We had the servants, we had the handmaidens. Think about Abraham and Sarah. They had a different things. What was it for? You see that? Why do you think there's so much weakness amongst Israelite families? Because as soon as I disagree with you as a brother, I'm going to just go my separate way. I'm going to move across the world, never talk to you ever again until somebody dies. And I'm going to show up to the funeral, then let's live amongst each other. Let's do it together in unity and happiness.
Somebody else's traditions, spirit of the Most High that's out there, and they're pumped to us. This is something that was.
Yeah, it's killing us. It's all good. It's all good. Where you want me to start at?
You start at first. You start at the top. Well, listen. For those in here, we have to understand. Because this is, listen, man.
Hey, the word of the Most High does not go out void.
At all.
Right?
The whole thing, get a little snippet of it. But we have to understand that our mind has been literally brainwashed, man. I don't care where you're from. You could be from Croatia. You could be from Australia. You could be from Japan. You could be from the U.S. Listen, are you really? Even those people, they don't even really.
The year 30 BE.
See, everybody's seen Alexander the Great, the movie. Check it out, because he conquered a lot of nations. That was a real individual, flesh and blood. The people that we read in the Bible are flesh and blood people. These are real individuals that you can look up, that they have artifacts of, that they have written documents, not in English, in ancient Hebrew, as they call Paleo. But we have knowledge that these individuals are real. These are not fake individuals.
Yeah, they're real historical figures.
Come on.
Alexander carried Greek civilization into the lands he conquered.
Hold on. He did what?
Carried to the lands he conquered.
Yeah, it said he carried Greek civilization and the lands that he conquered.
Into the lands that he.
Yeah, if you may have been the Most High. Right.
All the he brought it into. I mean, that's with any. They're gonna make you convert to them.
Right.
Because they don't.
Right.
We got to understand
what he's put down, because his way is prosperous, man. Like that scripture you pulled was cold. We don't have peace. We're stressed out. We try to control too much because it wasn't in your position to control anything. It was never meant for you to control. And that's what we're coming to understand.
It says this civilization mixed with the civilization of the ancient Near East to create a new hybrid civilization that we call Hellenism.
Yeah, that's why you get a little bit of truth and a lot of lies. Cats think that they're righteous, they're doing accordingly, but you're really not. You think you know what the Most High wants, but you're really not doing it. You know why? Because you don't go back to these laws and statutes. You don't go back to this book. You don't go back to, give me Romans 15:4. You're not going back to this. This always has to be in our mind. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
You want me to read on? You want me to read?
You can wait.
Romans.
Yeah, Romans chapter 15. Yeah, go ahead.
Chapter 15 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
Read that again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
See, the Most High is a whew. He said, for whatever was written aforetime, read.
Were written for our learning.
For your what?
For our learning.
For your amusement.
For our learning.
To read it like a comic book.
For our learning.
Nah, just to use it as blunt rolling paper.
For our learning.
Toilet tissue.
For our learning.
Nah, this Bible is written for our learning, but you know what it is? Y'all really think this ain't true, man. I'm not saying y'all individuals. But a lot of people don't see the Bible as being a true historical instruction manual. They see it as being fable, man. As being a fictitious story. This book.
Or good saying.
Yeah.
Or famous quotes.
This was written for our what?
Learning.
Read.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
See, the scriptures are going to give you patience. Read.
And comfort.
And comfort. Read.
Of the scriptures.
Might
have hope.
See, hope in what? Because we don't listen. This is the only thing that we can go back to and say we know who we are. Because right now we're in a battle. We're in a battle with this civilization that has conquered our mind frames. And this is the only thing, because even this, right? Let's say we're in the world. Even those that were in the world before they got the truth. You weren't really comfortable in the world. That's why you got the truth. You was crying to the Most High, God, show me your way, because I know this ain't the way. I know selling crack to my mom is not the right way. I know killing my brothers on the street isn't the right way. That's not your way. You weren't even comfortable in their society. But these scriptures, coming back to the knowledge of who you are, what heritage and tradition we hold, that's comfort.
Read that one more time.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
Go ahead.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right. So was it just for us to learn and be like, oh, I know that? No. Watch. Read on.
That through patience.
That through what?
Through patience.
See, the patience comes in when you're actually like, oh yeah, I tried that. They close the book, throw it in the fireplace, light it up.
Right.
And yeah, it's just good to make fires. But it said through what?
Patience.
Read.
And comfort of the scriptures.
See, through patience of the scriptures, meaning you have to apply it, watch it work. And that's where your comfort came from. Because now you're like, oh, wow, it does work.
Right.
It does work if I don't walk up and down the block and let every man hit me, then I won't catch a disease. The Bible said not to be a whore, right? Wow, if I didn't walk around and pipe every chick down with no condom, I won't catch anything. The Bible said not to be a whoremonger. I got to give that, but you got to give it patience. You got to let it work. Now you'll have the comfort to know, like, wow, I can trust in that. It was about the patience and comfort, but the learning had to be a doing.
Just like all the listen, go in, do this. A couple letters. Space, what's letters in it? You have
where we have caused a great extinction of cultures which the Jews miraculously survived. Wow. It seems that the Jews were protected from disappearance by their exclusive worship of a single God.
Yeah, because we was different. I'm different. We was different. It's an exclusive worship. You got a question?
Yeah, just what you said a minute ago. When you were speaking about how we knew something wasn't right, and I used to say that all the time that something's not right.
Right. Your spirit.
Really, when I was going to the churches, and I was trying to fit in, I started feeling terrible because I was saying, man, how come I'm not feeling what they feeling? People shouting and people running around, clowning and jumping up and down. Why am I not feeling this? And I used to always, what you said was really hit me hard just getting because he used to tell the Lord all the time, I said, Lord, I'm really honestly, you can see what's inside of me. I'm really honestly trying to find what's right. I mean, and I don't know, something not right. I said, maybe, man, am I terrible? Am I horrible because I'm not feeling this? And then, boom. My cousin come to my eye one day with a flyer.
Right.
Said he got the flyer from y'all at Exxon.
Life changing.
But even in that, what had to happen, Samuel? You had to read.
I had to read. Exactly.
You had to read, but then you had to have patience that when you applied,
right, the
scriptures work for you.
Exactly.
You see that? It wasn't just like, oh, now I got it.
And you know what was so deep? When I was reading and checking out things, I was saying, now this is making sense to me. Because when I heard them talking about Frederick, I didn't even know what you said. Because all I heard was drums, all I heard was pianos and organs beating and people.
And people backflipping and passing out.
Right, and I didn't even know what you said. Man, what did you teach?
Right.
I didn't have no clue what you taught. But this, you know, when I started coming to the class, I was saying, wow, not only am I leaving there with a better understanding, but they even let you ask a question. And you try to ask a question in church, but I mean, this has been said for a brother to pass in the spirit right now. You can't have no question. I mean, that is seriously, man.
You said what?
Seriously, when you want to ask a question from the pastor, they said, right here, he in the spirit right now.
Oh, right. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, he's in the spirit, don't interrupt him. That's the best part. Time to interrupt.
Wow.
Try to hear the truth.
Right? Where we at? You want me to finish this page up, or what you want me to do?
No, you can jump right to that.
Oh, what page is that? Oh, this is page 36, third paragraph.
And you know, we're bringing this out just to start the class and just to show you that here we are. Our people are not worshiping nor following God, his heritage, his laws, the way that he wants his people to be following it. His peculiar people, his peculiar treasure. It says in Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 18 that thou shouldest keep all his commandments. We're not doing that. And that's why we're feeling the way we are. Or they're feeling the way they are, because we're not abiding. But we're going more in history to understand why we're like that. Why we can't get a grips on why it seems like it's true, but it's really not. Why it's like that facade. It's almost like that image. You think it's real, but it's really not. You know.
Where we at? Page 6. So Jews and Egypt
forgot who we were. Our language. That was one of the. Y'all can read it, right? Y'all know, like here in America. Right? Ancient Hebrew. I was speaking. What is it?
They're learning. So think about it. Hebrew and your English. What's in English is going to be false, or in any other language. It's not going to be according to what your history says and documents. And that's how they got us. I mean, y'all all seen Roots. They start whooping Kunta. They whooped his language out of him, changed his name. Then what happens is the culture changes. He starts to assimilate to the slave master, and forget we forget what the Most High has given us. You know, we got to look at a lot of these traditions, man, that we deal with. A lot of the way things are structured. These things are new. These things are new. A lot of the things you got in slavery. That's the thing. The white man don't even hold to half the traditions that he gives you.
Right. We over here eating chitlins.
They ain't eat pork. The white people didn't eat pork like that. And if they did, they gave you the worst parts. It made you feel like it was good. Right. Even your shrimp, crab, lobster. Dude, back in the early 1900s, they didn't even touch that.
Damn.
Delicacy? Yeah. Hell nah. They knew that it was filth. They knew that it was a filthy food to eat. Wow. But now they flip it around and give you red lobster. Because that's when your girl want to go, because they make the food like $30 a plate, or at that time, it's like, oh, I want to go to Red Lobster.
Cheddar biscuits?
Yeah, you get your cheddar biscuits and some crab. It's real. I remember when Red Lobster was, if you had Red Lobster money, you was balling. Yeah. But why? But they were just overpricing a bunch of sea maggots. and telling you that it was a delicacy, and you chased that dream.
Yeah, and that's why whenever you go to these higher established areas, like we were in San Diego, listen, we didn't find no joints like that.
There was Sprouts.
Listen, Sprouts, Whole Foods. Listen, Whole Foods has some of the cleanest food. You got your turmeric juice. It was a cleanser that we got every morning. But that was in a higher established. We got a sister in the back. You work at a GNC or Vitamin Shop. Who primarily goes in the vitamin shop? What nationality people?
We actually have a lot of mix.
Okay.
Yeah, her area is mixed.
Are you in the hood?
She in Westheimer.
Westheimer? Okay. It's a lot of Hispanic or Issachar and stuff like that. So
over there. But the point is, when you go into these higher echelon areas, bro, they got nothing but juice bars and fancy restaurants that serve kale and quinoa and like falafel.
Like it's steak.
Yeah, ain't no dollar menus in these higher upper echelon communities. Ain't no Red Lobster is a thing of the past. They're like, man, we ain't eating that. We know it's bad, but they'll pump it to you and tell you that it's a delicacy when 100 years ago, 200 years ago, they weren't even messing with that. Because they knew it was nasty. But that's the point where all these things that they give us, they're new. It's a new idea. And the black man is just so confused, he'll cling to anything that looks good. Damn, that looks good. Damn, that smells good. I need that. I want that. Oh, the white man said I got to do it. Master said that we got to hit Red Lobster. That's the only way you can please your woman. Right? Listen, I remember when Red Lobster was, come on, man. I used to drive by Red Lobster, and this is before I even knew the truth. I was like 16, 17, driving by Red Lobster, like, y'all are crazy. It stinks when you drive by this place, but it used to be packed. Right. Drive by Red Lobster after church. They be in there just eating up all the scrimps.
That's a good thing to do.
Eating up all the scrimps, right? But it's a new thing, and that's what we got to see. We adopted everything. Why? Because it was easy. It's easy for you to adopt things when we take that language. It says, and forgot Hebrew. Historians call the Greek-speaking Jews Hellenist Jews.
They do what?
They call them, the historians call the Greek-speaking Jews Hellenist Jews.
Yeah, you an American Jew. Know what I mean? You are a brainwashed, American-raised, bred Jew. Israelite. Let's use the word Israelite. You're a brainwashed Israelite, man. American. What you think? This knowledge. He's giving us the Bible is letting us know. Chapter 10 and verse 9.
Leviticus chapter 10, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Don't drink. With thee.
Read.
The congregation.
Yeah, so it's just saying these are priests, you're not going to be drunk.
It shall be generation.
See, your generation. Our parents don't really teach us nothing, man. Even my lips won't be black.
Not to not smoke weed. But
yeah. I don't blame them. Dad didn't teach them. Parents ain't passing that. But that's why the word is coming back. Our people are starting to wake up to who got to step into these shoes of a Hebrew Israelite individual, family, and push this forward. Continue to read.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
Read.
And that ye may put difference between holy and unholy.
And that's what the statutes, laws, and commandments did. It put a difference between the clean and the unclean. The clean and the unclean food, the clean and the unclean acts. Even that itself, man, the acts is right. Kids smoking. That's crazy to me. You got junior high kids. Kids divorce the Most High so that we can shower cleaning up our mind. Read.
And between unclean and clean.
Read.
And that ye teach the children by the hand of
the children of Israel. Washed. But after children of Israel. And the thing about it though, this ain't living, man. Y'all that think y'all here in America with y'all 8 to 5 jobs, y'all got some food on the table. You may have $200 in your savings after you pay your rent, your light bill, so you can stack that. That still ain't living. Our people had gold, jewels. We ran the world. We had people giving us tribute.
Well, you can't stack that because you're so stressed out. You got to go buy a blunt.
Yeah.
And a 40.
You got retail therapy now.
And Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, you got Victoria, the dun-duns you got to get now.
To ease your stresses of life. So that 200, that's gone.
I'm going to start to Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 1. We're coming on, just coming through the class, how he wants us, all right? And I'm going to give this definition, Deuteronomy chapter 6. This is the definition of family. This is the body, how. In the most places, not only charitable, disrespectful, that we hate. We want to lodge a cheap hotel around the corner. No, you should have. America is trying to break up the household, man. He's trying to cause discourse.
And we're not saying that. I gotta say this though.
For a disclaimer,
we're not saying that it's wrong if a brother's living by himself with his rib.
Not at all.
Because the scriptures say a man shall leave his mother and his father and cling to his wife.
Indeed.
It does say that. But what we're saying is the idea that I have to like branch out at the age of 16, 17, 18. As soon as I graduate high school, I have to leave and go struggle in this world where the family structure was set up for me not to struggle.
Right.
The Hebrew family structure was set up for prosperity.
Right.
Where I might have stayed around a little bit longer.
Longevity.
I might have brought my family with me.
Right.
With my parents, right? And we would have just built. We would have. And then when the time came where I built up my riches, you see it all through the scriptures.
Right.
A brother builds up. What does he do? Now he says, you know what? My family's getting big enough. Right. There's not enough space for us. Let me branch out.
And we're going to go into that with Abraham and Isaac, man. Showing how Isaac, man, had an inheritance built up. But not just an inheritance. He had the trust of his father to give him that, man.
Yeah, we got to say that because we don't want to be, we don't want to think narrow-minded and we don't want to be one-sided like, oh, we're saying that you're wicked if you and your rib and the dog live together. We're not saying that.
Not at all.
But what we're saying is the way we had things structured for more stability, longevity, for the way we built our wealth as people, right. It wasn't like, oh, let me just go be this independent entity at every chance I got.
Right.
Like I'm 18, I have no wisdom, no knowledge, no understanding. I barely have a job, but I'm gonna move out and pay rent.
Yeah, have my little ferret in there.
Or I'm gonna just move out just to struggle. We didn't think like that. Our parents weren't like, nigga, when you turn 18, you out of here.
Right.
They weren't doing that. They weren't doing that. Damn. Because why? They didn't want us to struggle. Right. It wasn't set up like that. Right. But America will tell you, again, when you're 18, you're a grown-ass man, and you have to move out. And then your parents are like, well, I had you when I was 12 because I was stupid. I didn't know how to use protection. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to wait, right? I had you when I was 12, so I missed my whole childhood. So as soon as you're 18, I'm going to be about, 32? Something like that. So now I get to live my life. So I need you up out of here because it's all about the parent now trying to recapture the life they lost when they had you. You see that? So it's all these bad thought processes that we never really had as a people coming up. It was really about how do we keep our customs going. I mean, think about it. You got Adam all the way from Adam all the way to Noah. Right. And you had generations that dwelt. Think about when you go to your great-grandfather and ask him, man, what happened? Right. Think about being able to walk up, and obviously they lived a lot longer. But imagine being able to walk up to your great-grandfather and say, man, what happened back in 1900s? I mean, I can do that. I can call my grandpa right now and be like, man, what happened 100 years ago? He's 100 years old. Wow. But not a lot of people don't got that. Right. But imagine living longer than being able to talk to his dad and say, man, what happened about 150 years ago?
Yeah, how was the structure? How was the...
Yeah, what was going on 200 years ago, 300 years ago, and just dropping that wisdom.
Right.
But see, we lost that, the longevity of life.
Right.
You see that? Because of the way we do things. We struggle early. Think about it. You 18 with no wisdom, no knowledge, trying to conquer this world. This world that you ain't never going to conquer through financial riches and financial stability. But that's what they tell you have to chase. So what happens? You got a short lifespan because you're trying to chase something that's not attainable. The Most High said he knew the thoughts he had for you. But you trying to chase your own thoughts. You trying to chase your own dream. You see that? The thoughts of the mortal, man, they weigh you down, like the scriptures say. What's up?
Just thinking about the whole structure of the family. Like my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my uncle stayed at home until he was like almost 30, and when he got married, that's when he moved out.
Yeah.
Him and his wife got a place.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like they look at you like, oh, you still live at home with moms. Like, yeah, if I'm a bum in the basement playing video games, then there's something wrong.
Right.
But I might have to be at home with moms because moms is old. Like my mom's almost in her 70s. She's about to be in her 70s. So I always tell my mom, like, you need to come live with me. I tell her that all the time. I'm not like, oh, when you hit a certain age, I'm gonna throw you up in the nursing home. Right. I'm like, no, let me help you now. You done raised me. Right. Let me repay. That was the whole point. So you might have to come live with me. You get old, take care of you, but then she can still be a help. See the grandkids, watch them. It's this thing where we help one another. Because think about it. Let me just say this. Think about how many people struggle paying for daycare. But they got grandma sitting at home. Or you got grandma in a whole other state because y'all didn't get along. You didn't get along with your mom. She pissed you off. You pissed her off. You moved to a whole other state with your man. And now you struggle to find somebody to watch your kids. You got $800 a week. Ooh. Right. But imagine if you had grandma where she was living with you, right? She didn't have to worry about no rent. Her payment was, or her contribution was, I'll be here for the grandkids. You gotta go to work? I got them. Man. But we even abused that. I had to be raised with grandma because my mom was always out in the streets. You see the psychological warfare that we go through, where if we just did things the right way and followed a structure, we'd be good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going over the definition of family. It says the collective body of persons who live in one house and under one head or manager a household, including parents, children, servants, and as the case may be, lodgers and boarders.
See, it says parents, children, servants, lodgers, or boarders.
You saw the Zondervan?
No, sir. That was actually the Webster 1820. I got the Zondervan right.
What you got?
Nah, I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta read the rest of the Zondervan one.
Oh, yeah.
It says,
you got it?
Yeah. It says, the Hebrew family unit was larger than families today and included some or all of the father or master, his mother, if she was living with him after the death of his father, his wives and concubines, and their children.
You see that? Go ahead.
His children by other women, daughters-in-law and sons-in-law living on the paternal estate, other free Israelite friends and relatives, foreigners living under his protection.
Damn. Damn. So we gotta look at that. I mean, what's that? Yeah, and okay, so where did we jump?
No, because I'm gonna ask scripture.
Okay, but no, I'm saying did we jump the class?
No.
Okay. But y'all see that, right? Just by definition. The Hebrew family. See, this is what we got to come back to. Not the modern family that they done indoctrinated you and told you that, oh, it's just about you and her, and it's just y'all and the dog, right? It said, first of all, it describes the leader as the supreme head. So it wasn't just some raggedy old dude like, yeah, that's my boyfriend. Oh yeah, that's just some dude I'm shacking up with. It said he was the supreme head. Meaning that every decision for that household ran through that man. Not the bull dyke butch that looked like a man. Supreme head. It said the following. They call him the father or the master. So the father was the supreme head. Right? For the head of the man is Christ, the head of the woman is the man. And so forth and so on.
See, it's an easy concept because it says the supreme head. Listen, let's break it down. Let's go back to your jobs. You have a boss. Does anybody tell their boss what to do? Why not though?
Because there's money involved. That's why. That's the only reason why. It's money involved. Let's be real. Ain't nobody in here. Y'all all submit to y'all's boss and respect your boss because he won't cut that paycheck. That's why. It's carnal. It's carnal as hell. But you respect him because of what you feel like he's doing for your family. Forgetting that the Most High cut you at any point. Right. But it says the supreme head of the household. It said that his mother's mama. Right. It wasn't like this mother-in-law daughter beef that they promote on TV. They promote Real Housewives of whatever state you're in. Where it's like, yeah, his mama, he's a mama's boy. Like, they weren't promoting that. We didn't deal with that. It was like, this is my mom, you're my wife, y'all order.
See, and let me get you to this. Highest in authority. Holding the highest place in government or power. And if you read, if we continue reading in Zonderville, that part that you were reading.
I can read it.
Okay.
Yeah. Where we leave off at? Oh, it says since in primitive times the family assumed many of the responsibilities of modern government.
See, the thing about it is a family was constructed as a government. That we're going to go into and understand each pieces of the family. But it said it was a what?
Modern government.
See, the supreme head was the he was in position, the highest place in government or power. So the Israelite family was compared to be a what?
A modern government.
See, that's how they were able to thrive. Why? Because they didn't have to worry about the small things. They had that covered. They had individuals to take care of that. But they had the supreme head to show and to guide according to the laws and statutes of the Most High to make that prosper.
And what does a government have? It has structure, right? You got your president, your advisor to the president. You got your local diplomacy. You got all these different. Everyone, the wife had a job, the children had. It wasn't like just come home and do whatever the hell they want. Their cell phone, out the house, hop on the.
Like you're a part of the family, but it got a head. It got out.
Job, then there was no man, right? And even if he is not have a job that the kids ain't doing, so it's just all chaos. As a woman or as a man, you hate your man. You be sitting there, shows up, go eat out, or pops for 8 years, right? Like, where's that? He's in the driveway. It breaks down with the family.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 2.
Read that.
That thou mightest fear the Lord thy power.
Start at verse 1. See that.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your power commanded to teach you.
He did what?
Commanded to teach you. That ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
See, any land that you go to possess, any land that you're in. Read.
Verse 2. That thou mightest fear the Lord thy power, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's sons, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged.
See, the Most High gave us this for our generations. It wasn't just for ourselves. It wasn't for us just to hold on to, like I'm self-made, I'm just keep it to myself how I got rich. No, it was supposed to be passed on from your sons to your sons' sons' sons. So that their what?
Days may be prolonged.
Yeah, we dying quick, man. Getting killed in the streets. Malnourished. Think about Venezuela right now having a drought. How you got a drought in a country but everybody else eating fat? Man, just everybody else is eating good, but Venezuela is impoverished right now.
It's like, how you have a drought on a coastal city?
Right. Got no food, you going through trash cans. Because they didn't give the statutes of the Most High to their sons, sons. Read.
They didn't allow their sons to stick around. It was like, oh, you 15, go get a job.
Right.
Get the hell out and do your thing.
I'm going to send you across the way to get some money.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily.
That ye may what?
Increase mightily.
Yeah, increase mightily. These laws and statutes, these laws and statutes that have us increase, man. Increase our family, increase the things that we love and want. But the only way to be increased, the only way to have peace, the only way to have love in our household is we have to abide by his commandments, his statutes. The structure, the strategy that the Most High has implemented for us in our family, that we should implement, that's the only way that we will be, what does it say? Multiplied, right?
Mightily increased.
Mightily increased. Read.
As the Lord God of thy fathers has promised thee.
See, he promised it. Read.
In the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Read.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Read.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart.
See, think about it. We got multiple gods. We got gods at our jobs, gods in the cars, gods in our house. We don't, listen, we're not focused on what the Most High wants from us, nor what he asks of us. Read.
And with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Read.
And these words, which I command thee this day,
right,
shall be in thine heart.
See, these words should be in our minds, man. We should be meditating on this, because this is how we get multiplied or increased mightily. It's through these words, by meditating on it. We don't meditate on that. That's why our households are crumbled. We don't go to the book of instructions. Does anybody know what Bible stands for, the acronym? Does anybody know what it stands for? Go ahead.
Is it the basic
Say it loud and proud.
Basic instruction before leaving earth?
Come on, read. Say it again.
Basic instruction before leaving earth.
The brother said, basic instructions before leaving earth. This book is meant to be applied. Applied and tried. That's the only way to be increased mightily. Read.
Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
See, these words, these laws, teach them diligently. These heritage, these traditions, rocking your fringes, dealing orderly in the house that we're going to get to. These things that we're going to learn, you should be teaching them to your children diligently. Read.
And shall talk of them when thou sittest in thy house.
That's the only way to get ahead. That's the only way to multiply monetarily. That's the only way. Read.
And when thou walkest by the way. And when thou liest down.
You stay with these commandments. Why? Because this is a safeguard, man. That's why the Most High in the above scripture, if you write it down, it talked about in Leviticus 10 and 9 about separating the clean from the unclean. This is what's going on right here. This is separating these peculiar people, these Israelites, from the other nations that don't have this strategy, this mind frame. Think about it, man. Think about how much we do here in this school. Think about that. And it comes through unity. But think about if your household was structured the same way. Oh, my goodness. Increase mightily. Read.
And when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
Yeah, I like that. When thou riseth up. Get you some praises going up. Get you some prayers. Get you some audio Bible. Read.
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Yeah, they should be a frontlet, man. They should be leading us. This structure that the Most High is trying to show us, this government, this order of things, this is what's going to be our frontlets. This is what's going to guide us. Our people are so just bamboozled, man. We really think the American way is the only way to go. We really think that we're going to prosper in that way. Think about it. Did your parents prosper? Question for you. Did your grandparents prosper? And I'm not talking about, listen, We're so downtrodden that prospering is just having a decent life, being okay, smiling. No. The Most High wants us to prosper abundantly. Thrive. We're meant to be like that. Think about it. If you got our people, man, they got gold chains, gold watches, gold rings, and they stay in the hood, man. They still try to hold to that status quo that we used to be. They still try to hold to it. But the Most High is trying to rise us up and bring us back to this statue, man, to this mind state. Read.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house.
Read.
And of thy gates.
See, the Most High is just letting us know, man, we have to constantly be around His Word. We have to constantly be have this in our ears, have it in our eyes so that we can see it, so we can stay focused, man. This world is crazy. We have to teach these to our kids so that they can teach them to their kids. That's it on that. Give me, keep reading.
Verse 10. And it shall be, when the Lord thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware.
That's it on that. But yeah, just showing that the Most High is bringing back the order of things, but He's coming through the Supreme Head. Like I said in that in the Zondervan Bible Pictorial Dictionary. So we're going to hit on the Supreme Head right now. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 11:1, just to bring back the understanding of who's the head of the family.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. Y'all got it?
Got it.
1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahweh Shai.
So we understand that Paul is saying here, listen, follow me because I'm following the same ordinances that Christ got and that Christ gave to me. This is what our families did, man. We didn't give hood knowledge to our kids. We gave instruction. We gave wisdom. We gave knowledge. Think about it, man. Think about your own life. What your friends give you daily. What your parents gave you. Was it knowledge? Was it true knowledge? That you can still say that you can abide by today and thrive from it. Paul is saying, follow me because I'm following the same things that Christ did. Read.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Read.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai.
See, the man has to be in order first. The head has to be in order. Yahweh Shai. Understand that we have to go back to this book. We can't go about it the way, the Jewish right now. Deal with women. That's why I said how his followers understanding of the Bible.
And the head of the woman is the man.
See, the head of the what?
The woman is the man.
See, yeah, don't take it personal because we're all some type of, but we're on some type of leaders. If it's the husband, elder men over him. If it's the elder men, they have elder men over them. They have somebody that they're sitting there counseling with that's giving them knowledge according to this Bible, not knowledge according to the world. So those that think it's a burden to have your man sitting there giving you knowledge, giving you understanding, trying to explain things, trying to just open up his whole heart to you so that things can be easier in the household. He's doing it for a reason because the Most High told him to. Because Christ did it. And that's his leader. That's his mirror. He's trying to mirror what Christ did. Read.
And the head of Yahweh Shai is the Most High.
Even Christ. Christ had to be obedient to somebody. To the Most High. Christ didn't, like the scriptures say, Christ didn't come to do his own will. He came to do the will of his Father. And it's the same thing with the family. Mission will. Why? He's ordered a these learning. We have to sacrificing how they thought things should be. Family members. With that, 18 verse 18. Abraham
and verse 8. Of the earth shall be blessed, and all the nations of the earth in him.
All the nations on sin. Why? Because he's being obedient. Going to the Josephus. We saw that chapter.
The Josephus pull out on a little bit more in depth sometimes.
Next, paragraph 2.
Section 2, paragraph 1. It says, now Abraham thought that it was not right to disobey the Most High in anything.
Hold on. Hold 1 minute. Hold. Can you read that again, please?
Now Abraham thought that it was not right to disobey the Most High in anything.
See, question. Has this ever just ran through your mind dealing with your spouse? And I'm talking about wives to your husbands. Husbands, listen, dealing with this Bible and the scripture that may convict you a little bit. Read that again.
Now Abraham thought that it was not right to disobey God in anything.
That it wasn't right to disobey. So that means when something was put down, that you were going to do something different. Has that thought ever jumped in our minds? That's the question for us.
Well, no, because those brothers would follow all the counsel.
Right.
Sisters would follow all the counsel.
Right.
And they will make their way right. But then they don't follow counsel. They go, they do what they want to do because they're like, well, I don't like that counsel.
Right.
Then they get beat up out there in the world. They get the repercussions and they come back and was like, oh, I should have listened.
Right. And they have to learn the hard way.
Oh, I should have. Y'all were right. And it's like, well, it's not that we're right. It's that the wisdom is right. See, that's what Abraham understood, that the Most High's wisdom was right. And that the Most High, if he promised it, he was going to do it.
Right.
That's why the scriptures say, look at the generations of old.
Right.
And see that who was forsaken, that called upon the name of the Most High. Obviously, it was the righteous of the old. Right. Abraham was a righteous man, Noah, Moses. But when the Most High, he didn't, because why?
And that's what we're in.
That Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation.
See, it says Abraham was going to become a great and mighty nation because it didn't seem right for him to disobey God. Because he understood where his power was coming from. He understood where the knowledge, wisdom, for him to guide, for him to tutor his household that we'll read that he had. It came from being obedient to this word, man. Obedient to his elders. If you can, who is this man? Read that again. It wasn't a circumstance where Abraham, elders are family members to make them prosperous and have their family prosperous.
Since all the creatures that live enjoy their life by his providence.
Read that again. RBR.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
All nations shall be blessed in him because,
seeing that all creatures that live enjoy their life,
because that's what they were, creatures.
Providence. And the kindness he bestows on them.
Yeah. So Abraham was dealing with them righteously through the knowledge and wisdom of the Bible. And that's why a lot of times even our families, man, or just individuals, they have this disdain for, listen, just other nations. But think about that, man. You don't even treat your own family right.
Don't go there.
We got to.
Don't do that.
Abraham said, listen, those around him, the creatures, those around him, love to be around him, man. Because the way he was moving, him being obedient to the wisdom that he received from his elders. Is there anything else in there?
Oh, yeah. That's it on that. Or
Yeah.
you want me to go down?
No, you can keep reading IBR.
Verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his house after him.
Hold on, he'll do what?
Command his children and his house after him.
See, and that's what Abraham did. He commanded. He did what?
Command his children and his house after him.
Yeah, command is not a what's the word? You're not asking a question. You're not asking for an opinion. Said he commanded. He told them what to do. You know why he told them what to do? Because they truly didn't understand, or they didn't have the wisdom that he had. But once again, he was just the supreme being to order everything aright. That's all they had to do was just follow. Think about it. You got football players, man. They go to spring training, right? You got summer training. They follow what the trainer tells them to do because they know that the trainer is going to lead them in the right way. They don't ifs, ands, buts about it. We're going to do some lunge jumps today. Lunge jumps, then we're going to start with sprints down, back. Then we're going to come into the gym. We're going to hit some squats. We're going to hit some pull-ups. You know what? Then they're going to have an ice therapy bath to calm down your muscles. Then you're going to go back to the gym. You know what? They'll do exactly that because they know what the end goal is going to be. Prosperity. They're going to reach those areas that they want to be. Our people should be having that same mind frame when they deal with that supreme head that's under this law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. This Bible, this heritage, this Hebrew Israelite heritage that we're trying to learn again, that we're trying to bring back into our mind. Read that again.
For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
Read.
And they shall keep the way of the Lord.
And they shall what?
Keep the way of the Lord.
Because they believe and they seen. It says the Jews need a sign. We've seen what the Most High will do in our life with obedience. We've seen it. And those around him will do the same thing because they see it as well. Read.
To do justice and judgment.
Read.
That the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him.
Come on, man. Abraham was an obedient man, but he was following the scriptures. Give me Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. And the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 1.
So we're going over the supreme head. This supreme head that is ordering his house aright through the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. That's the only way to make your household prosperous. You can try everything. The laws of attraction. You can try the 38.9 or 58.9 laws of Ma'at. Whatever you want to pull from. All this different worldly knowledge. You can go on YouTube. Find all your self-help books. 58 laws of power. 48 laws of power. Whatever you think will be able to order your house aright. No. If you're of that Hispanic, Native American, and so-called Negro descent, this is the only way to increase mightily.
Wait, so you saying that ChristianMingle.com ain't gonna...
Christian Mingle ain't gonna make it.
And you say like Match.com and Tinder...
That ain't gonna find prosperity in the household.
Wait, so I can't like jump on Facebook and just find me a rib and it's gonna be good?
That ain't gonna do it.
Oh, I gotta follow the Bible.
Bible.
Damn.
Yeah, man, and that's the issue. Our people want to run to everything except this good book that's been here for so long, and that people have seen, that have tried it, and that have prospered. Read that.
Ecclesiastes is in the Apocrypha, chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people.
A wise what?
Judge will instruct his people.
Yeah, see, a wise judge, a wise leader, a wise leader of a household will do what?
Instruct his people.
Read.
And the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Ooh, I love that. Government, because the Hebrew Israelite family is a government. It's a body. It said they're prudent, or the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And that's why Abraham's household was willing to follow him.
That's why it flourished.
Yeah.
That's why I said the great nation. Think of it. It says, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation. How can you do that without order and structure?
Right.
How can you do that without obedience? How can you do that without something to govern? That's one of the reasons.
Right.
But he held to the laws and statutes of the Most High. He held to tradition.
You keep reading.
Where at?
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself,
Yes. Yep.
so are his officers.
See, as Abraham was, so was his people. That's why that supreme head has to be on point. That supreme head has to keep his head in this Bible, in these commandments, in these statutes, in these traditions, in our heritage. Because why? Those people underneath you is going to follow. We have to be that good example.
Plus, the scriptures say where there's no vision, the people perish.
Right.
Where does the vision come from? Where does the vision come from? Samuel looked at me like, huh? Think about it. It said,
come from?
where does that vision come from? If I'm supposed to be giving and instructing my household on the visuals to. So leadership was faulty. It's like even there's small things we got to do to attain that vision, and we're on it. You see that? It's implemented, we do it, but then we come back and say, this is for the bigger goal. You see that? So that's the thing, that there has to be a vision, or else you just lead in blind. Abraham had a vision. The vision was, if I continue to do what I do and follow the Most High, these nations are going to come from me. He had a vision. What's that?
And I'm just saying, outside of this, it doesn't work.
Yeah, because going back to the first scripture, I know my thoughts that I have towards thee, thoughts of peace and not pain, right? But think about it, the way we want to achieve and the things that we think that we need to do, what do they bring? They bring confusion, chaos, you're hectic, you're schizophrenic in the brain. It brings death, destruction.
And the reason I could digest that so good is because 55, 56 years outside of this, I've got nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Because why? The scripture said there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the ways there are of death. See, you might think like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna attain. I got my vision, but is that vision lining up with the vision of the Most High? See, Abraham's vision always lined up with what the Most High wanted, for the thoughts that the Most High wanted towards him. You see that? That's why it's important. Where we at? You want me to finish on? Read on?
Give me and just to have an example. Please go ahead.
Can I?
Got time.
I'm gonna read verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people."
Right.
How? He ain't got no vision for the people. He's leading them wrong. He's a terrible example. Right. It's like, do as I say and not as I do. Do as I say and not as I do.
Right.
Type mentality. Right? But think about, let's drop that down to a household where you got a brother like, yeah, you need to get in order, you need to get your mind right, you need to stay in the spirit, but all he's doing is what? Playing video games.
Out the spirit.
All he's doing is, all his rib ever sees him do is play video games, drink nightly, run the streets, hit the clubs. He'll never study, but he's telling you to get in order. You're teaching that evil lesson against yourself. You destroy your household like that because now you look like, we can't bark orders and then not do it. The one thing, if my rib ever has to criticize me, it's like, oh, you study too much. You don't pay attention when I'm talking because you're always reading. Like, my bad. I'd rather that than like, oh, you don't pay attention to me because you're playing that damn video game.
Right. You watch movies all day.
Yeah, you watch movies all day. Or you too busy running that. If I'm gonna be criticized, I'd rather be criticized than that. And saying, well, because that can be, that's just a balance thing. That's not like, oh, I'm just trying to make you do something that I ain't doing. You see what I'm saying? That's like, okay, well, if you feel like I'm studying too much for some reason, let me shift it a little bit. Let me give you some time. Let's see what's up. Or let's bring you into the studies. You see how that can be switched? Because no matter what, it's going to be for the righteous benefit. Right. But how do you do that with video games? Well, I'm telling you to study, get your mind right, get your head straight. What I'm gonna do? Invite you into the video game? Let's do this multiplayer shooter. How's that gonna get our spirit right? Or let's play 2K together. Right. Like you see how the logic. But we gotta be careful. That's why it says an unwise king destroyeth the people. Why? He didn't have a structure. He didn't have a government. Think about all these. Think about the black and Hispanic household. It's destroyed. Why? Mainly because the man ain't there. He's not even around. His example is one of not being around. Right. So he can't, there's no one there to implement structure and government. There is no supreme. Now the woman takes that job, so it's totally destroyed. Right. She's mom, dad, grandpa, grandma. All of it. You know, it's happy Father's Day and Mother's Day to her, according to the world. Right. It's terrible. But you see how the breakdown. So we got to ask ourselves, what king am I trying to be? Am I trying to be the one that builds the people? Am I trying to be that righteous judge? Or am I going to destroy my family? We know about the destruction and how easy that is. We got to get back to what builds.
Right.
Y'all understand? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I like, just even on the building point, just how the scripture said Abraham commanded his family. He didn't ask, he commanded, because he understood what was good for them. And he understood what was evil. That's why he commanded them. Y'all gonna do it this way. What? Okay. There's repercussions that you don't want to follow. But Abraham, how he was being that
obedient, humble. She had to mind that is well instructed. Think about rebelled against him at sacrifice. That's my only baby. That's my only.
Right. Hold on.
I know. No, we can. Because it kind of goes against.
Right. Yeah.
But you see, she is humble. He had to have a humble wife that was willing to follow. Y'all understand?
24 and verse 15.
That's a good one. Joshua?
Yes, sir. Joshua chapter 24.
You said Jeremiah.
My apologies. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15, please.
God. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15.
You can wait for Samuel to get that. Joshua chapter 24. And it's just showing just the supreme head taking control, man. Being in authority, understanding that the Most High gave him that authority. Like we say in EO training, the saints of the Most High was going to take the kingdom. So we got to take our order, man. Heritage, boozle us and think, no. We got to found that.
Y'all don't see that? Joshua, America is a big hamster wheel. You just go round and round in a circle.
Yeah,
till you die. They got the booby snack hanging in front of the hamster. 30-year loan paid off. Something happens. Damn, I almost got my car paid off. I got like 4 more payments. You messed up and put liability insurance too quick. Somebody smashed into you. Damn, I got a whole new car loan. You gotta set up to prosper. It's all about you. And that you got yourself in it. Go to that man that's better than one. Think about it. For the family. They make sure they teach their sons everything they know. Think about Harvard, Princeton, Yale. These colleges were built by slave owners to teach slave owners' sons how to keep slaves.
Yes, sir.
That's what these colleges were built for. If y'all didn't know about Harvard, these Ivy Leagues,
I didn't know.
They were built by slave owners, by slaves, to show slave owners' sons how to continue.
It's a fraternity life, baby.
Why you think there was no black people? Slave?
Right. Yes.
But we don't do it. We do from general and a water bill, funeral bill, and the taxes you.
Insecurity.
Hand down is death, destruction. That's why the Most High said to the 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th generation. Listen, it's so loud it rattles the car and you think you made it. What about your son? What about your family? You gonna give your son them rims? He gonna be around long enough to ride them rims?
Just to let you know, rims do depreciate.
He gonna be around long enough to ride that raggedy ass car you got?
Which depreciates.
Like, come on, man. We got to wake the hell up. The black man has to wake up to think that you're going to hand down the garbage ass Jordans to your son. They going to now, you'll probably end up pawning that. It's 18. Here, son. Great grandpa, 15. Forefathers did for their sons and their families and their daughters. It wasn't about them. All the sacrifices they made were for their family and for the nation. It wasn't about me and my household this. It was about, damn, let's get the nation going. Let's build that. Abraham built a nation, if y'all didn't know that. He sacrificed for a nation. It wasn't about his wealth. He had it. But he didn't care. He was like, I'm going to just take my wealth with me. Where I go, the sheep go.
Because he understood who gave him that wealth.
Because he understood how he got it, by his obedience. But he understood that the more obedient, the more he had to hand down to his son. The tradition. He could hand the things that the Most High gave him. He could hand those to Isaac. He wasn't trying to hang. What? You thought that he was just going to hang on to his sheeps forever and be like, here, son, here's my sheeps. No, he had tradition and knowledge to give to Isaac. Again, how do you raise a nation? What's the point if you don't have no wisdom? We got to see that. Where we at?
Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15.
Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15.
And this was the same spirit that Joshua was rolling in. Read that.
And if it seemed evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve.
And that's the problem with the black man. It's like, oh my God, you believe in that Bible?
Right.
Like it's an evil thing. If it's evil to you, then kick rocks.
Yeah. That's why you're sagging your pants and your wife, your girl is in front of you, bossing you around, and you're holding her purse. Why you wear flip-flops?
But you looking at me because I got fringes on. You looking at me because I'm on that corner telling you to get right. Like I'm the evil demon. But you walking around with your damn dirty polo drawers showing. You got fake Gucci flip-flops on with dirty white socks. Look like you walked around in the socks first and then put the sandals on.
And sand pit.
But you looking at me because I got on a clean garment and I got fringes hanging. Like we had a sister in the Walgreens like, what did she say?
Those little things on your legs.
She said like little flippy flops or something. I said, no, these are fringes. Oh, right. She said, no, flippy something. I said, nah, sis, these are fringes. She said it the third time. I was like, you know what? Bible, Numbers 15:38. It's in the scriptures. She's like, oh, lucky thing I have my glasses. Yeah, lucky thing.
Right, you need that.
But that's the problem. Like, it's like, let me clown you and make it look like you're doing something wrong because you want to serve the Most High. Because you want to hold on to something that's valuable. Because you want to carry on tradition. I don't just do this for me. I do this for my son. But guess what? I do it for his son. I do it for his son. I do it for your son. I do it for her son. Because that's what it's about. What's the point of me saying I'm going to just do this for me? What about the younger dudes coming up? The whole point was to build. If I'm not doing this for them, for an example for them, and then them for an example for their sons, I'm useless. I might as well pack up all the books and burn them. We might as well shut the school down. We got to see why do we do it. And we can't let nobody look at us like we doing wrong because we want to serve the Most High. Right. If you feel like that, you ain't got to be a part of it. You ain't got to be here. Go be out in the world. Go be a faggot out there. Go sag your pants out there. Go be a whore walking the streets. Hit the pipe, roll the blunt, do all that. But I know it's not evil. We know that. Read on.
And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord,
read.
Choose you this day whom you will serve.
Make you a choice. Who you going to serve? Man or mammon? The Most High or mammon? What you going to serve? You going to serve your pocket? What you going to serve? The liquor? The drugs? Your pimp? What you going to serve? Your wife? You going to be in subjection to her? Right. Or you going to bow down to the Most High? Which one is it? Read.
Whether the gods of your fathers which serve, whether the gods which your fathers served.
Yeah, are we going to serve the gods that our fathers served or the ones that they knew not? You gonna serve that wooden stone like it says in Deuteronomy? Or we gonna serve the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power that took us up out of Egypt, that parted the Red Sea, that killed the firstborn of Egypt? What we gonna do? What you gonna serve? That's the question. They look at you like, oh, you serve like that? You do that?
Right.
It's like, nigga, you serve what you know not.
Right. You serve crack.
You serve crack and the twerk god. That's what you serve. I know. Go ahead.
That were on the other side of the flood?
Read.
Or the gods of the Amorites?
Yeah, on the other side of the flood. Think about it. Them men ain't here. They ain't around to say, oh, look at my God. You got flooded out. You see that? Think about that. Think about that. You think that the men in the flood in Noah's time didn't have a God they served? Of course. They were serving that liquor god, that money god, that party god, the same demon god. That's a god. I don't need to serve those.
In whose land he. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
That was because forefathers, that's how you built. Those guys that couldn't serve the flood. The Egyptians,
right.
When that's the point. That's what we gotta wake up and see.
We're gonna write on this. Give me just to clarify on this as well, because separation that the Most High is trying to show us. The Most High is getting us of a country that we're in, mind state. He's destroying that, and that's why a lot of our people, this scripture right here, you need to hold this tight to you, because a lot of y'all don't understand what y'all are going against. You don't understand that the righteousness that you think is evil is righteous. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Read.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
Read that again.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
See, a lot of y'all think that this American way is the best way to go. But read that again.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
And that's what y'all are doing. Y'all think the American establishment is good, but it's evil. You've been deceived. You've been deceived. What y'all think how families should be run? Incorrect. The woman should not have power over the man. That's why men walk around here with gimp limps, looking sad. Like somebody done stole and ran over their dog and brought it back to the house. Feel disrespected. Kids that just get bullied in school. And people think that's the right way to go about things. Hell no. Read that again.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
Destruction unto them that call evil good. Read.
And good evil.
See, a lot of the things that y'all think is evil is actually good, especially when it deal with this Bible. Read that again.
And good evil.
See, a lot of y'all that call these things evil in your mind that you think is off because it's the American way, it's evil in the eyes of the Most High. Since you think it's right the American way, no. And those things that the Most High is trying to show us, that is good, because you don't even.
Woe unto them that call and good that put darkness for light.
I need them all. Y'all feel good, but came back from what. Yeah, when
light for dark.
Speaking, those type of things that take up time, take family time, take some of your time. You think it's evil? It's actually righteous. Because the Most High is trying to clean up your mind so that you can lead your family.
Just some people look at the sheer application of wisdom as an evil thing. Like, oh, that comes from the Bible? I can't use that. Right. I ain't going to do that because it comes from the Bible. But it says, woe unto you. But you see your condition. We ain't gotta talk about it. You see it. You see the distress you're in. You see the chaotic mindset that you're in. You see that your family has no structure. Your kids, they're go to real quick. Go. Nah. Oh, where you at? Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Where's it at? So is it despise nurture? Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable.
He's what?
He is miserable.
Right, the black man is so miserable. Yeah. He despises nurture. He despises wisdom. He's like, no, my way is right. But guess what? You the same one hanging out in front of Victoria's Secret for 8 hours while your chick runs up your credit card $1,000 that you ain't got.
You checking your phone to see the balance. Too late, sucker.
Yeah, you the one walking through the mall with your pants hanging, with dirty socks on and flip-flops. You the ones that can't control your kids. Because why? You despise wisdom. You despised knowledge. Go ahead.
And their hope is vain.
And then the things you hope for, that American dream, that beautiful family, that, what is it? 2.5 kids, a dog, and a picket fence.
Right.
White picket fence.
White picket fence.
White is right.
See, that hope is vain. You ain't gonna get that. Why? You didn't have the structure in your brain to even develop that. Right. Even if you had it, you couldn't even control it. You couldn't organize it. Read.
Their labors unfruitful.
The things you work for, they're unfruitful. Because who are you working for? Are you working for those gods of the Amorites? And the ones on the other side of the flood? Or are you putting your labors towards the Most High? And that work. Read on.
And their works unprofitable.
And there's no profit in your work. It's unfruitful and unprofitable. Go ahead.
Their wives are foolish.
Their what?
Their wives are foolish.
Yeah. A wise woman buildeth her house, but a foolish woman pulleth it down with her hands. So guess what? Your house ain't being built. Your house is not being set in order. Because your wife is foolish. Read.
And their children wicked.
And their children are what?
Wicked.
You got wicked ass children. Why you think you got why you think you got these little gremlins running the streets now? Because their daddy despised wisdom and nurture. Again, think about it. Why is it that the black man can only hand down to his son death and destruction? The only thing the black man got to hand down is bills, pain, suffering. The only thing I can teach you, son, is how to roll this blunt and how to drink this 40 at 9 o'clock in the morning. The only wisdom I got is these lotto numbers. But I mean, come on, ain't that the black man though? Like,
hit that dog track. I had to talk about the dog track. You ain't got time for the dog track.
I'm gonna show you how to win at the dog track. Or I'm going to show you how to be a mechanic so you can just slave away for other people your whole life. Or I'm going to show you how to be a landscaper. Or I'm going to show you how to be a carpenter. Or I'm going to show you how to just be a slave for everybody else. I'm not going to show you how to own a damn business. I'm going to show you how to work for one. Right. We never have nothing to hand down to our children, man. Why? Because we despise nurture. We despise wisdom. We call evil good and good evil. We thought it was evil to serve the Most High. So what happens to the family? Read it one more time. Verse 12.
Their wives are foolish.
Read.
And their children wicked.
Read verse 13.
Their offspring is cursed.
So the offspring, everything is just cursed. Why do you think the Most High said, visiting the iniquity of the fathers to the 3rd and 4th generation? That's all we got for our sons is iniquity. That's all we got.
Listen, rather than giving them inheritance, you done set them up with a woe. What does woe mean, class?
Death, destruction, misfortune, disaster.
That's all we got for our sons is a woe. Like, woe, son, I'm gonna give you this woe. I got this woe in my pocket.
Right.
Because I ain't got no wisdom. So here, I'm gonna give you that right now. You're only 2 years old, but I'm gonna hit you with that right now because you already set up for life to be whack, to be a failure. You see that? Jump back to
Isaiah 20.
Read.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
Yeah, now you see what it's talking about from that Wisdom of Solomon. Because the black man loves to call evil good. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. It just be closer to God.
It's an herb.
It's a herb.
Yeah, but
it's from the earth.
Yeah, that's why your lungs don't even work. That's why, listen, that's why in Wisdom of Solomon says he's miserable because your body's beaten down. The Most High is about to he's destroying you. he's destroying you and your family. All those that got those illnesses, they got those plagues on the body. Listen, woe unto you, because you call good evil and evil good. The Most High is not playing with that. Your mind is miserable. That's why it says the thoughts of mortal men. What does it say? Yeah.
The thoughts of mortal men are
miserable.
miserable.
That weigh it down the body. Your body is getting weighed down because your thought process. The Most High is not playing with you. Y'all think this is a joke. That's what the scriptures are saying what it's saying. Read it again.
Darkness.
Yeah, you put in.
For light and
thought process is.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own.
In your own eyes. The black man is always wise in his own eyes that I know how to do things better than what the Bible says, or better than wisdom that works. Yeah, I've seen that work, but I'm going to do my own thing. Like, why you got to be wise in your own eyes, bro? Why don't you just follow the path? The scriptures talk about following the path that's already been walked. Why you got to do something different and more extravagant and more lavish just to fail? It says, woe unto you. Why are you teaching that lesson to your family? And that's the point. We bring it back to the family. You teach that lesson to your family. You teach that to your sons, your daughters. Don't follow what's already worked. Blaze your own path. Be a trailblazer. But there's going to be a woe that follows that blazing ass trail because you're on fire.
Right.
To blaze a trail, you got to set something on fire. Read.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
See, it says destruction to those. We got to start putting destruction for this woe, because I don't think y'all really understand what this woe is.
God.
Read that again.
Destruction.
Say it again.
Destruction.
One more time.
Destruction.
Read.
Unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
That's why our people have issues and problems in our families, man. Because we're not ordering our house according to this Bible. And that's what we're getting back to.
Proverbs 3 and 7, real quick.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 7.
That's not it.
Wait one.
Verse 5. All thine acknowledge him.
Are they wrong to disobey? It said, in all thy ways acknowledge him. Why? Because it's going to be a benefit for your family. You're going to be the example of when I do things the right way, here's the byproduct. It ain't going to be a woe. It's going to be a prosperity. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him. And he shall direct thy paths.
And who's going to direct thy paths?
He shall direct thy paths.
Wait. I'm going to be prudent in my own eyes?
He shall direct.
Wait. Surely.
Be not wise in thine own eyes.
Read.
Fear the Lord.
Read.
And depart from evil.
Read on.
It shall be health.
Wait. I gotta know evil to do good.
It shall be health.
Right. It says depart from evil because it's gonna be what?
Health.
So the black man gotta run away from the evil in his life. I know the thoughts that I have towards you of peace and not evil. So what is it saying? We gotta go back to the structure that the Most High laid down for the family. So that we can raise our family healthy. Read on.
It shall be health to thy navel.
Go ahead.
And marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord.
That's it.
Yeah, give me 1 Timothy 3 and 1. Because we're going to understand where this comes from, man. Who is this individual?
You're going to go there.
Who is this individual?
You're going to go that. You're going to do that.
We have to.
You're going to make me come.
Oh, come on. This class was set up like that.
You're going to make me go. Man.
We starting from the head, man.
You're doing that, huh?
1 Timothy 3 and 1.
Read.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desired a good work.
See, the office, the most man to do the Most High's business. But this,
no, I'm not. A good vacation.
A good work.
This was a work. do just to what?
Well spoken of. You have to be the epitome of a good example.
Blamelessness.
First off, you got to find out everything that's wrong with you.
Right.
That's your first step.
Well, let's say the individual. Let's say we're past that.
Okay.
Because how can you be blamed in a situation? Because a bishop was supposed to do what?
Be blameless.
Well, we know that, but a bishop led. He was a leader.
Right.
He hashed out problems between individuals.
God.
Right? He was the one that you went to if you had a problem with a brother, your sister, he needed to counsel.
Discrepancies and stuff.
How was he found blameless? He had to be balanced. I'm sorry, you had your hand up. What were you gonna say?
No, that's good too. I was gonna say he wasn't a hypocrite. He would like the situations that were and the problems that were coming to him. He wasn't going out and doing the same thing that people were talking to him about.
That's one. He wasn't a hypocrite. He had to be balanced. He had to understand situations. You see that? But the main thing was the balance. He couldn't lean one side over here, two right, two left, because now it's like, oh, well, you took that person's side. I'm going to blame you for what happened. Or you took that person's side. He had to be balanced through the wisdom. So it's telling you he had to apply wisdom at all times. Right. He always had to apply the wisdom, the knowledge. He had to be a wise judge. It says a wise judge instruct the people. Right? But a foolish king destroys the people. So he had to be a wise judge. Think about it. Sam, I see you thinking. Like, damn. He had to be a wise judge. How does one judge wisely? He had to apply wisdom. So he had to let wisdom nurture him. He couldn't despise wisdom and nurture when it was time. Right. There was a time when he had to be under tutors and governors. Right. There was a time when he ought to be a teacher. He had need someone teach him again. He understood the first principles of the doctrine. He wasn't a novice. I know I hit y'all with a bunch of scriptures, but we hit these so many times. Y'all should know these off the back of your cortex. It should just flow. Right off the cerebral, right off the medulla, right? He had to be a balanced man. Read on.
Verse 2, a bishop then must be blameless.
He had to be blameless. Read.
The husband of one wife.
The husband of a first wife. When you go into that Hebrew, it's a husband of a first wife. Go ahead. So what's that saying? Why did he have to have at least a first wife? Because when you go, when you read by definition, the Hebrew family, right? Let's read it. And we don't got to go deep into it.
The family, 275.
Right.
About Victoria Dictionary.
Read.
The Hebrew family unit.
Go ahead.
Was larger than families today.
Go ahead.
And included some or all of the following.
Go ahead.
The father or master.
Read.
The supreme
head. So this
head.
father was the bishop. Go ahead.
The supreme head.
Read.
Of the household.
Go ahead.
His mother.
His what?
His mother.
Go ahead.
If she was living with him after the death of his father.
Go ahead.
His wives.
So why did he have to be the husband of a first wife? Who knows? Why was this important? There's a few reasons, but why was it important that he at least have one wife?
If you can't take care of your house, how can you take care of the Most High's house?
Bingo. If I didn't know how to deal with a woman, how could I give you any counsel on how to deal with your woman? If I didn't have experience, you know what this should just say? A bishop should have experience.
Hey, go to 1 Timothy 5:8 just like that.
A bishop should have experience in everything. But it's breaking it down point by point, the things that were necessary for him to build his house and then to build the house of the Most High, build a family of the Most High. Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith
He had did what?
Denied the faith.
Yeah, he denied that you despise wisdom and nurture.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it's worse than an infidel.
Now you're an infidel. You're a non-believer. You're faithless. And that's what you're looked at.
Traitor.
Yeah. Jump back to 1 Timothy 3.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2.
Go ahead.
A bishop that must be blameless.
Uh-huh.
The husband of one wife.
Read.
Vigilant.
Yeah, he had to know how to deal with a woman. Because how am I going to give you advice? How am I going to give you any type of experience? I can give you all the biblical scripture, but a lot of things need wisdom and experience behind it. I need application of those scriptures to show you what works and what don't. Y'all get that? What works for your situation? Not every scripture is good. Just because I throw a scripture out don't mean you get it. And don't mean you know how to apply it. Sometimes you need wisdom and the application, whether it worked or it didn't, behind it. Go ahead, read on.
Vigilant.
He must be what?
Vigilant.
Yeah, you gotta be fit. You gotta be on top of things. Again, it said it was a work.
Walk circumspectly. Be alert.
You have to be alert of what? The supreme being, the supreme head of the family had to know what the rest of the non-supreme family was doing. He was accountable for them. He was accountable for their souls. So he wasn't just some dude that went to work, came home, stuck his hand in his drawers, and watched the game. Yeah, the typical, we weren't Al Bundy. Or if you watch the one where the dad comes home, takes his pants all the way off and just sits in his drawers in the recliner. The Goldbergs. There's a newer one. Yeah, we didn't do that as dads. We made sure the family was always functioning. We didn't just say, oh, I went to work, my dad duty is done. Right. That's it. That wasn't what made us a dad. That's not what made you a bishop. That's not what made you the leader. The fact that you went and did your carnal work. What about the spiritual work? What about raising that family? What about being the supreme being? You can just say it in title, but what about actually being it? You have to be vigilant. Go ahead.
Sober.
You have to be what?
Sober.
Yeah, that's sober in two ways. Your mind had to be clean. You couldn't be tossed about by every wind of doctrine. Why? Because if you're tossed, then your family is going to be tossed. They're going to follow that example. And then you sit there talking about wife, get in order, but it's like, nigga, just a week ago you didn't even believe. Just a week ago you dropped your cross. You didn't want to bear your burdens, but you want her to bear hers? It don't make sense. So it said he had to be what?
Sober.
His mind had to be pure. His mind had to be pure. He couldn't be just tossed. 1 minute I believe, 1 minute I don't. 1 minute I'm down for the truth and ready to die for it. The next, man, I'm better off not even knowing the truth. He had to be steadfast in his belief, not just for himself. Let's go back to Abraham. Did it ever say at any point that he wavered? When the Most High gave him commandment, he was like, oh, Lordy Lord, I don't know about that one, Jesus. I'm going to have to go consult with my rib because I'm weary. I got to go to this whole new land? Nah, I don't want to do that. That's too much. Now I don't believe. I don't understand what the Most High is doing. My faith is rocked. Hell no. He was like, come on, let's roll.
It said, now Abraham thought it was not right to disobey God in anything.
Yeah. He wasn't wavering 1 minute. He was like obeying. The next minute he was like, I ain't doing that. And then his rib is bucking up. He was sober. Go ahead.
Of good behavior.
Of what?
Of good behavior.
Yeah, he knew how to, listen, man, good behavior. He knew how to deal with people. He knew how to talk. This man, this bishop, this supreme, this head of the household, he wasn't some belligerent idiot that just made a mockery of himself when he spoke or just acted out of emotion. He was comforting. He was also stern. Right? This picture. What was this bishop? I know we hit this all the time. We hit this with brothers all the time. Well, you got to really see and look at your household. Why is your household unstable? Why is your wife shaky in the faith? Are you shaky in the faith? Do you find it bad to disagree and not obey the Most High? Or are you cool with just being rebellious and stiff-necked? Which one is it? Because guess what? You may think you're hiding it from your rib, but she picks up on the signs when your rebelliousness kicks in. She ain't stupid. Right? Then she gets rebellious and stiff-necked and hard-headed. And while her spirit has woes and ups and downs, her spirit's like a roller coaster. One minute she's up, next minute she's down. Because she's following the lead. She's following you, Abraham. She's following you. So what Abraham are you going to be, though? What Abraham are you going to be? The one that didn't want to disobey the Most High? Or the weak, simple nigga that at every turn was wavering, tossed to and fro like a child, with every wind of doctrine, with every emotion, with every feeling? You going to be that bishop that stood up for righteousness? Or the simpleton that you came in as from the world as? Which one? Read on.
Given to hospitality.
He was hospitable. I said that. Read on.
Apt to teach.
He was what?
Apt to teach.
Wait. His rib asked him a question and he had an answer?
Apt to teach.
He was equipped to teach. He was ready. He was ready at any... Hey, I need an answer to this. I need some counsel on this. And it was like, oh yeah, let's go here. Let's go here. Flip here. Hold that. Read. Hold that. Let's break this down. He was apt to teach. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I don't know. I'll get to that later. I'm busy right now. My rib is hitting me up. Her spirit's hurting. She's getting destroyed by Satan. She's out in the world, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, maybe even 6 throughout the week. She's out there in the elements. But I'm not apt to teach, to rebuild her and replenish her. So guess what? She's just getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker by the day. Because I didn't realize that when I desired this work as a man to build a family, build a household, lead people, I forgot that it was work, that it was going to take work. I thought like I had this stupid preconceived notion that my wife was going to come in 100% righteous, floating on air, head wraps, that with a trail all the way down the block. You got brothers that think like that, like I only got with her because I thought she was righteous. She fooled you, and you were supposed to see that. And then you were supposed to be apt to teach, to build on whatever righteousness she already had. Not just assume she had it and let her float and then float away from you. You were supposed to be ready to teach, ready to counsel brothers, ready to give the answer of your faith. It says that the righteous study to teach, or study to answer. What you studying for? Just to know it? Oh yeah, I know that. When you gonna apply it? You studying just so you can say, look, I have all the notes. They're all in this notebook, right here. I got the keys to the kingdom. But for some reason, I don't want to put the key in the hole and turn so I can walk through the door. But I got the key, brother. I got the keys. But guess what? Why you ain't putting the key in the door and turning the lock? Why you ain't using it? Apt to teach didn't mean I had a damn 10,000 books full of notes. It meant I had them notes and I was using them. I was applying it. And then it got to the point where I didn't need the notes because it was in me. Because I've applied it so much, now people can see my example. Right? They can see my good behavior. They can see my hospitality. They can see my sober-mindedness. But if you ain't applying it, you killed yourself on the first 5 things. Read on.
Verse 3. Not given to wine.
Not what?
Not given to wine.
Yeah, I don't need a beer. I don't need to be drunk to deal with my family. I don't need to get into a drunken stupor to tolerate my household. Right. Because since it's not in order, I didn't order my house right. Now, the only way to deal with the madness that I've created, I got to be inebriated. Right. I got to be drunk. I got to be high. I got to hit the blunt. I just need 2 puffs. Just like the world. I gotta be the madness that I've created through my lack of application, through my lack of being this bishop, through my lack of being apt to teach, and my lack of willingness to humble and learn.
And we're talking about the characteristics of the supreme being, man.
If he's a supreme being,
right?
But if not,
right,
you just a peasant.
And that's why families
suffer.
Yeah, extremely.
This is why the families suffer. Read on.
No striker.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat my rib into submission. Right. I'm gonna smack you with these scriptures, but I don't gotta lay a hand on you. You got brothers thinking that that's okay. They're teaching that online. Yeah, just work this Peter. She ain't listening. It don't say if she going out the way you would have her beat her down, punch her in the face, take your Bible, close it, and just smash it against her nose. It ain't saying that. It said not a what?
No striker.
Read.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
Yeah, all about gain, filthy lucre. About me. It's all about me and my household, me and my pocket. I'm doing this because I'm looking to gain something. Man, I'm wondering why the Most High ain't blessed me yet. Because you're looking for that filthy ass lucre. You're looking for that filthy lucre, not looking at the fact that I'm supposed to be building spirits. I'm supposed to be leading my household. I'm supposed to be guiding my children. I'm supposed to be building up an inheritance for my sons and my daughters that they can hand down. I'm not supposed to be letting the Most High visit the iniquity on my children that I brought forth. I'm supposed to be canceling that out. I'm supposed to be building to break that cycle. Go ahead.
But patient.
But what?
But patient.
But what?
But patient.
Wait, rash and insecure.
But patient.
Just moving on every whim.
But patient.
Surely a bishop is emotional.
But patient.
But patient.
Not wise in his own conceit.
Not wise in his own conceit. Not just doing every little thing because he got a wild hair up his butt. Not just moving off of emotion. Not just doing things just because I felt like I needed to do that.
Because my mom told me.
Because my mom had said. Or because, man, that ain't what y'all brothers, the council brothers gave me. It wasn't working. You say you have to be patient, for you have need of patience. After you do the will of the Most High, then you might receive the blessing.
Might.
But it was about the patience in a man. Patient, not letting things just get to him. Then all of a sudden he's breaking down in the corner, losing his mind, lacking faith, can't do it no more. He was patient. He was patient with his wife, with his kids. He wasn't beating his rib because he got impatient, kicking his kid down the steps, whooping him with the belt handle, trying to beat sense into him. You have to be patient. Go ahead.
Not a brawler.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out, every restaurant I go to, I'm gonna get into a fight with somebody. Every time I go play ball, I'm gonna go fight with somebody. Every time I go somewhere, I'm in an altercation.
If it's physical, if it's just verbal, it's some type of...
Yeah, altercation. These verbal spats. A bishop was not a brawler or a striker. He was patient. So when he saw that, man, this dude over here is out the spirit, I'm not gonna join in with that and go tit for tat, back and forth, railing for railing, evil for evil. I'm patient.
Your wife's out of line, so you're going to get out of line with her. Y'all
Yeah.
going to be out of line together.
Yeah. She starts yelling at the top of her lungs, you just start yelling at the top of your lungs. But no, you see that with brothers, man. You got brothers that'll go out, it don't matter where they go. It's an altercation. It's a back and forth. They always got some argument with the server. Or they on the court fighting with somebody. But it's never their fault. Gotta change that mind. Read on.
Not covetous.
Not always about what everybody else got. Like, damn, I need to get that. I need to get that. He got a new car? How come I don't got a new car? I gotta get me a new car. He got new shoes? How come I don't got new shoes? I gotta get me some new shoes. Everything somebody else has, you covet. You're looking at the things of others in the wrong way. You ain't looking at how can I help a brother get some new shoes. You worried about your new shoes. Maybe you get a pair if you're worried about somebody else for a change. Then the Most High will worry about you. Go ahead.
One that that ruleth well his own house.
Whoa. You just read that slow.
One that ruleth well his own house.
Wait. His house was chaotic. His rib, she just did whatever the hell she wanted. His kids, they were just garbage, little rugrats.
One that ruleth well his own house.
Yeah. We were supposed to rule our houses well. Abraham, he ruled his house. When you read in Joshua, he ruled his house well. But through what? What did he use? Did he use the wisdom of the world? Did he say, you know what, I'm going to follow the American dream? I need that white picket fence, man. I need that 2.5. How do you get 2.5 babies?
Okay.
But like, God? Is that what it is? No, it's 2.5 babies. No. It's 1.3 kids, right?
2.5.
2.5. How do you get a 0.5 of a child? Oh, it was an infant? What is it?
Nah, it's supposed to be a pet. Yeah.
I thought it was a white picket fence, a dog, and 2.5 children. Thought the dog was the pet. Okay, so God. So they're telling you that pets are children now. Now you see why they lay up with their dogs in the bed, kiss them in the mouth, let the dog eat the baby's ice cream cone, lick it, then the baby goes and sticks his face into it. Now you see why like the dog will suck the baby's bottle. Think about it. Just even that is just filth. Filthy. Kiss them in the mouth. Here, puppy. Take a lick of my ice cream. Lick my sucker. Oh, that's man's best friend. See the logic? But back to the point. It said he ruled his own house well. Through what? All that we've been bringing out was to bring back the tradition and show that the ruling of the house came through following the tradition that was laid down and not being this Hellenist. Not trying to take the tradition that we had and filter it through with the Greeks and Germans and Egyptians and follow their tradition and follow their language and customs. It was about our language and customs. This was the only way to rule your house well. Any other way is uncivilized. Any other way that you try to rule your house without the wisdom and knowledge, you read on.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
Yeah, his children were in subjection to what? To what? And why? What was the whole point of having his children in subjection? Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to hit that. Damn, this class is so long. Probably not. What was the whole point of him having his children in subjection? From what we read about Abraham?
So they can learn his ways and replicate what he did.
Right. Because if it says train up a child the way you would have him and he'll not depart. Right? If I don't do that and have him in subjection, it didn't matter what I handed him. He was going to destroy it. If he didn't understand the gravity of what I gave him. It's just like that son that inherits the family business, multi-million-dollar business, whatever it is. He gets the family business and he just tricks it off. All of a sudden he gets it, it gets rammed into the ground. Dad died and handed it to him and they thought like, oh yeah, he was going to carry it on. But guess what? He was never subject. He had to run the business to see how I did things. Business tricks. Doesn't get the re-up. Doesn't get children in subjection. So now when you handed them the keys to the kingdom, they knew what door to go through. They knew how to get to the building, how to open it, how to unlock it, how to walk. There was a reason why you had to have your kids in subjection with all gravity. They had to be down to earth. So that entailed a lot of different things. We know we go through it about disciplining children, how to do it, sparing out the rod, cocking out a child, right? We know all these things, but they don't know that stuff in the world. And the problem is, think about it. You know what? One of the things I did hate about having a lot of family around? When you mess up as a kid, Sam, you could probably attest to this. You're a little bit older than us, but I even remember this. You mess up as a child, what happened? You got a whooping from daddy. You got a beating from every elder in that house. So you end up with like 5 butt whoopings that day. I've lived through that. My grandma used to be around. Catch it from her. Catch it from my pops. Catch it from my mom. Like when everybody got home from work, it was their time to get a piece.
After the neighbor done jack show.
Yeah, the neighbor probably done whooped you. And probably meant more back in your day. Yeah. Let a neighbor whoop somebody right now. That neighbor's going to jail. Yeah. He going to get shot by the cops. The parents going to shoot him. The kid's going to be able to beat on him. It's all these things that, but think about what that type of discipline did. Where I know that if I mess up, I'm going to catch like 4 butt whoopings today. I'm going to be more apt to do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. But now, nobody can tell anybody anything because the structure of even just how we dealt in society was off. Where Hillary Clinton used to say it a lot. It takes a village to raise a child. Right? But what happened? If it took a village to raise a child, why we got this single parent households now? Imagine that. If it took a village, and we know it took a whole village. Look at the struggle on the family with one mom, with just the mom, or just the dad. Look at how that child comes up. No morals, confused as hell. Don't know their place in the world. Don't know their place in society. Don't know that they're good for anything other than I'm gonna be a track football player, basketball player. I'm gonna be a stripper, crack. What do you say? If either you got a jump shot or you slid in crack rock. Either you got a wicked jump shot or you slid in crack rock. Whatever. But that's what it's about. If I'm not doing these things, if I'm not your monkey entertaining you on stage, singing melodies and dancing a jig, I'm useless. Because that's what's taught to our children. Because why? There was nobody there to keep telling them, nah. Grandma ain't there to tell them, nah, do things the right way. Because grandma's like 30 years old now. She trying to party. She trying to hit the club. Grandma's like 45 now. Remember when Big Mama was like 70? 60? Put you in check real quick? Now grandma's running to the same rate of riot that the kids are running to. Grandma's inciting the riot. She's inciting the fights. She's telling the daughters to put on the booty shorts and the thong and the spandex. Grandma got spandex on. Like, what the hell? So where's the structure? Where does the leadership start? Grandpa ain't around. He got tired of grandma back 20 years ago, right? Because he want to chase young tail. He want 19-year-olds. He want to be able to smoke his cigars in peace, drink some gin and juice, watch the game without somebody nagging. So he ain't around. What's up, Samuel?
Just witnessed exactly what you talking about today over there where I'm at. Young lady over there on just her and the house. I'm in now. The girl standing this like this.
Yeah, like
I back and looked at her. She said, "You heard what I said? Put it back." There was just. I said, "What?"
So we gotta see, man. To hear. Too long. What's up? The structure that most high. Go to here.
Yeah, I'm bringing. But this is just the Most High. Keep this in mind. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon in chapter 6.
The wisdom of the world, the wisdom of because we already understand our patriarchs had or has for us. But what does it say we have to do?
Read on.
Verse 21. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters.
Yeah.
Read verse 20.
Yeah, read verse 20 again.
Oh, God. Therefore, the desire of wisdom.
Yeah, desire of wisdom. The love and the searching out of these scriptures to understand how to abide, how to raise our family. Read. Yeah, bring it to your kingdom. And scepters, or sceptries, read. Priests. Because they're the ones giving the knowledge, which the scripture says in Ecclesiastes. It says reverence the priest. Reign, because Hebrew Israelites, we reigned. We reigned our family. We reigned nations. We had servants. And as we go into this class, you'll see we had servants, slaves, individuals that lived in our house, but they were under our rule. They had to abide by our rules and regulations. But it came from the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. So hold on to that. And thank you for staying with us. Difficulties going out. So we hope that our is more clear. And until the next class, Wednesday.
As a reminder, we're not going to have class on Friday. Just online. We didn't jump ship. We didn't leave the truth. We didn't abandon y'all. We just not going to have class those 2 days, okay? All right. So yeah, if you got questions online, hold them till Wednesday, and go ahead and salute them online. Say shalom.
Shalom.
Let's rise and face the east. Let's get up out of here. What's up, Samuel? What's up, bro?
Awesome stuff. Awesome.
I did the gym thing.
A lot of people like the class. A lot of people like the class. They were commenting on it.
Yeah. You came with that meat. That meat.
Yes.
Excuse me. That meat flavor. That was like chew stick flavor, like teriyaki beef.
$3 on fall off too.
You said what?
$3.